Hello once again, readers of good books. My name is Nick Pell, and this is coming from my white room, as per usual at this point. This week I am going to be talking about a book which I read for a class of mine in college, and it is Dennis Johnson's Jesus' Son. Now, before you start laying down religious things in the comments, this is not really a religious book in any sense of the word, which kind of surprised me, and so I'm going to get into it. There's not really a ending per se to the story, so there's not really going to be a section on that. So this is a book which is made up of about 13 stories, and you can read that in that sense. You can read it as just 13 different stories which are not connected whatsoever, except for in their various themes and different things which occur. Or you can read it as different aspects of a single narrator's life, which is how I ended up reading it. The first story is about a car crash. This guy is hitchhiking with a family, and the car gets into an accident, and he is kind of observing from a different truck after he survives the crash. It's just a bunch of stories which really touch on the idea of drugs and alcohol and addiction, and a bunch of really, really interesting stories. They're all fairly short. The most, or the biggest that I think one of them is maybe 15 pages, and so it's really easy to get through them in probably a single sitting. The book itself is only about 100 pages, so it's really not too terrible. The only name that, assuming that they're all through the perceptions of one single narrator, the only name that we really get in terms of the name of this person is the name Fuckhead, because that is the nickname that he gets in one of the stories, and that's the only thing that we have to go off of. So that is how he is referenced. At least that's how he was referenced in my class that I talked about the book in. Yeah, like I said, the story really, or the book really deals with a lot of aspects of drug and addiction, and the idea of redemption at least towards the end of the story. It's the idea of redemption and kind of the idea of maybe this narrator trying to teach people a bunch of different things which is happening, or maybe trying to learn things about the world himself. It's a book that you can really interpret in terms of your own really preference. You can assume that this narrator is like Jesus' son per se, or you can assume that it's kind of a metaphor and that we're all Jesus' son. Whatever you choose to believe in that respect, and just kind of the trials and tribulations that someone of that heritage would go through. And it's a very interesting story, and a well-developed story. Johnson did a really nice job with it. I don't know how old the story is. I think it's just like a year or two old, so it's fairly recent. It touches on a lot of really big issues, really interesting issues, and yeah, it's one that I would say probably check out and recommend, because it ends in a very interesting fashion. Yeah, it's really good. Like I said before, themes are kind of just like the drugs and addiction type of aspects of things, and trying to overcome them, along with the idea of redemption, and if it is at all physically attainable in any aspect of the word. That is kind of a quick review of Jesus' Son, because like I said, it's kind of spread out over a bunch of different things, and the way I read it is that it's a bunch of different memories from this person's life, and so it's kind of tough to touch on because it bounces all over the place. And so you're going to have to read it for yourself to really get an idea of what this book is. In terms of enjoyment, I did enjoy Jesus' Son a lot more than I was expecting it to. When I first saw the title, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be some religious thing that I'm not really going to care about or be able to enjoy a ton. I ended up liking it a whole lot because it surprised me in terms of the content that it was speaking about. That's my review. If you have read Jesus' Son, leave your thoughts on it down below in the comments, and I would love to hear that. What was your favorite short story or aspect of this narrator's life? That would be really interesting to discuss as well. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. Make sure to buy my own short story entitled The Bridge in the link down below. I would appreciate that a whole lot. And as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on reading. You're better than drugs.